Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy and Anahata Education Group. Tonight is our open house. I thank you for joining us if you're here live. If you're watching this as a recording, then thank you for checking us out. We'll take about an hour tonight for you to get acquainted with us. We're a team, more than just the people here, but I'm glad some of our team are here. So I'll introduce you to everybody in just a moment. And then during the class tonight, each presenter will talk a little bit about their role in what we do. And mostly we're going to be talking about what's in it for you. Right? Why are you here? What drew you to this evening, to this profession? Why are you considering hypnotherapy? It's a chance for you to get the spirit behind what we do, why we're interpersonal hypnotherapy, what's so unique about our brand, and what it can actually do for your life. So I'm here with Jenny Werner, our Student Services Director, Monica Waterman, our Admissions Director, and Danny Fox, our Chief Operating Officer, and our Chief, we're just going to start working with, Chief Education Officer. She's a lead instructor in the school. These are three wonderful women who are here with me. And again, there's a whole team of people that helped to run the school and to make it happen. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Again, this is our open house, June 15th, 2022. Our next enrollment is 2020. Somebody's mic is on. Monica, you can shut your mic. Thanks. So our next enrollment is June 29th, 2022. That's enrolling for online. So you can do that from anywhere in the world. We're licensed by the Department of Education to be able to offer that, in all 50 states or really anywhere that you are. And we've proven that to be extremely effective as a method of delivery, especially during COVID times. We also are doing the summer enrollment, which is always a slightly smaller enrollment with our Orlando location only. So you can physically come in and train with students for 30% of it. 70% is online, 30% is in-house in Orlando, or you can do 100% online. Awesome. And welcome, Jennifer, who's now a fan who I see all around. So good to have you here. All right. So we are Anahata Education Group. Is the logo on the left. The word Anahat just briefly refers to the heart, or some of you may know the heart chakra. It's a symbol of the six-pointed star surrounded by a 12-petal lotus. And the symbol for me represents love is the essence of all the teachings. It represents harmony. It represents balance. And it's really been the essence of my work, which I'll explain briefly for my part of the presentation tonight. You'll see it in the very core of our Institute's logo, because everything we do is rooted in some really, what's the best word there? Beautiful principles, right? Everything's based on love and harmony and gratitude. Those are the ones that are up in the air right now for us, focusing on everybody being more harmonious, having more gratitude. Everything coming from spirit, everything coming from love and rooted in compassion. I don't know if you watched the news today or any day since whenever, 2020. It seems that, it's pretty bad out there, right? It's pretty rough in people's lives. I'm honored that Anahata Education Group and our branches are a light in the middle of a lot of darkness and offering careers and offering a chance for people to change their lives. So kind of the what's in it for you if you're considering this, an occupation which can be an adjunct to an existing profession. You don't have to quit your day job. It can blend beautifully with whatever you do if you're in the caregiving professions or not. But then it could also just be a standalone profession. We're not going to go extremely into hypnotherapy law and credentialing, but I would just let you know you can legally practice in all 50 states. There are no prior degrees required, but you do have to understand the law, and you want to absolutely attend a state licensed school that is giving legitimate career diplomas, because this is a federally acknowledged profession, and we need to protect that by keeping the standards high. So with diplomas like this, you can be your own boss. You can make your own hours, and I'll show you potentially, no guarantee at all, but potentially what you can make in this profession. And it's significant. It puts you into that top 5% of people making, well, let me not say exact numbers at this moment because there need to be disclaimers on that with state licensed education, but you can make significant money in this practice, and it makes you your own boss. I mean, I love teaching people how to become financially free, and eventually, if you like, to quit your day job. So that's part of the benefit, but there's tremendous, as our staff will talk about as well, tremendous personal and spiritual growth, friends that are made for life. You're part of something extremely special to any degree that you interact with us, honestly. So let me introduce you a little bit more. We talked about who's here tonight. Jenny will go into the student experience. Danny will go into the deeper dive into the student and graduate experience. And Monica, our admissions director, will talk about how to get started. This is my personal mission that I decided to share in our open house so you can get a sense of the heart, the sincerity, the energy behind what we do. This mission came to me in deep meditation in my early 20s, and it has only changed with the most minor grammatical shifts. If not, the intention behind this is absolutely the same. So everything that we do is infused with this mission to offer the world, not just our city, but the entire world, through loving service, the wisdom and truths that I have discovered over the years, in a way that relieves the suffering of all beings and promotes health, wealth, and enlightenment for myself as others. It used to be myself and others, but really, I think a lot of you who might be listening to this have heard something about oneness, right? That we're all one, or at least we're all in it together. So seeing yourself as others says, if my left hand's hurting, my right hand is hurting, right? If you don't have means, then I don't have as much means, right? We all are in it together. We certainly learned that when COVID came around. The wisdom and truths I've discovered over the years, I am a monk at heart. You'll hear a little bit more about that tonight, but I've lived in monasteries and ashrams. I've lived in India. I've lived in spiritual communities for a good 5 years of my life, but I'm an avid meditator. I spend usually about 6 or more hours a day just in meditation, but that's to funnel a vision, to funnel a mission, and to kind of galvanize the troops, right? To say, like, we're doing something that's healing the world, and I'm inviting everyone who's interested to be a part of it. My background is in philosophy and religion at the university level, and then 2 different Chinese medical colleges, so significant training in acupuncture, massage, Reiki, Tai Chi, Qigong, herbology, nutrition. Yet I felt like it wasn't quite enough, that there was something else to help to relieve human suffering. And what I learned after many years of study and meditation and teacher after teacher was the mind. It's all about the mind. It's just the mind. So much of Chinese medicine comes back to your meridian systems are out of balance because your emotions are out of balance. All right, we have a subconscious mind that is filled with pain and fear, anxiety, depression, loneliness, guilt. I can go on, but once you get a sense, just empathize with the amount of pain that you might have, or that, of course, a lot of people have right now. We can resolve so much of that while letting those who are part of our mission, meaning going through the school or being part of the team or whatever, we get to feel like our staff, we're happy, right? Like everybody here has a roof over their head and they're paid, and like there's love and there's joy. We're doing a mission that's spirit-based. So anybody who wants to get on that groove can be part of that. Get in that groove can be part of that. For those who aren't in such a great space, we have skill sets to help them. So the model here in hypnotherapy are powerful skill sets that help the able to become more able. We're not down in the trenches. We're not frontline workers. We're not crisis counselors. We are largely dealing with non-therapeutic hypnosis, meaning we don't treat severe medical conditions or mental health conditions or dental conditions, right? We're not dentists, but we can work in harmony as clinical hypnotherapists with other medical professionals. And it's such a wonderful thing. Like if you ever get to work at a hospital or the psychiatry office, which I've done. I was trying to just remember what's the best word for that. But just working with a psychiatrist and working with those patients. It's extremely rewarding. But again, you can't just do that with a weekend worth of training. We're a significant state licensed school with many hundreds of hours of training. And we'll talk to you about that tonight. All right, so a little bit about what I'll go through. The history of the school. Let's just do that and we'll move through these bullet points. Briefly, I started my hypnotherapy practice in 1997. It's quite a while ago now. And that was in Massachusetts. I did that for about 3 years and then kind of got burnt out. I was really young. I was 25 years old. I knew nothing about business. I just had a good heart and wanted to help people. And I learned a lot in the first 3 years. I took a little time off, started again, and short story, ran my practice for 10 years and actually got very successful with that. Once I started making like over 100,000 per year, I was like, wow, this is working. This is cool. Once you figure out how to do it and you have clients coming in, it's extremely rewarding. First of all, in helping others. And then second of all, getting paid to do it. I would be on my knees, literally, like just with tears in my eyes saying, I can't believe this is what I do for a living. It's spiritually based. It helps people with their emotions. It helps them to remember who they are. It helps to heal their body. I just had a student the other day she emailed and said, "Thank you so much for that volunteer session that you did." It's actually a session you get to watch in the school. That's why she didn't have to pay for it. And she just said, by doing that session on prosperity consciousness, one session with me, her income had quadrupled just by clearing a mental block. So imagine doing that for yourself and others. After 10 years of running my practice, I realized I absolutely need to start teaching this. I had written a lot of books. I've written 5 books I'll show you briefly tonight. And I just realized my mission, the knowledge and wisdom and truths I've discovered over the years, is absolutely what my career is about. So there's so much in this training, more than the average hypnotherapy training, because of my background and now our team's background as other teachers contribute to the curriculum. So the history, we started in Gainesville, Florida in 2007 as the Florida Institute of Hypnotherapy. We moved to Tampa around 2012, and not long after we changed the name to the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, because our vision was clearly bigger than Florida. And most of us don't even live in Florida now. I don't live in Florida now. We have teammates all over the world, literally in Switzerland and Italy and Carousel down by Aruba, North Carolina, New York, California. We're really all over the place now. And well, that's the history of it. It's a movement that really is spreading around the world, like my mission has always intended for it to. I talked enough about myself tonight. If you like to go to our website, which I'll show you briefly tonight, then you can read more of my bio. But that's enough about me. Our team, I've introduced you to a little bit, the 3 who are here. But once we get on the website with a quick overview, I'll just be sure to point out our staff page, which is really wonderful, the type of people who are with us. Okay, the importance of state licensure. If you're looking into hypnotherapy training, really understand that this is a federally acknowledged occupation. It's illegal to train someone in an occupation if you're not licensed to do so by the Department of Education. How are there trainings therefore that get away without doing that? Well, number 1, nobody's policing it. Number 2, they can operate under the radar. And number 3, they will only say you can be a hypnotist. You can do hypnosis, you can be a consulting hypnotist, but you can't be a hypnotherapist. Yes, you can. We are licensed by the Department of Education to give you legitimate career diplomas with the CIP code 513603. You can look it up if you want. This is a real profession, just like if you went to cosmetology school or massage school or acupuncture school. You couldn't go to an acupuncture school that wasn't licensed by the Department of Education. So I'm imploring everybody, it's been my mission for so many years in this profession, please only support state licensed education. My father was a general contractor, and when unlicensed contractors would be kind of competing with him, and he had to work so hard to get his contractor license and maintain higher standards, that rubbed off on me. And so our school really is maintaining the highest possible standards, and we keep working towards higher. We're definitely moving through the educational system to be a better and better institute for sure. All right, so the importance of state licensure. You want legitimate diplomas when you graduate, and you want the protection of the Department of Education behind the school itself. We have to abide by legally binding agreements with an enrollment agreement, scholarship information, financing information. You can finance this training, but you can't have that if you're not a state licensed school through a third party that helps us with that, basically. So I could go on and on about the importance of state licensure. I just hope you're getting a sense that I'm a good person. My message, I believe, is pure, and that I ask you to trust me that state licensure is very important. Don't go to an unlicensed hypnosis training. You can get CEUs, continuing education units, but really I encourage you to be very mindful of who you might train with. They might present themselves well, but first question, are you licensed by the Department of Education? All right, the IAIH, I'll show you that logo in just a moment. That's our association where we have conferences, certifications, and continuing education courses. Our conferences are rocking, they're life transforming. And if you ever get to have a chance to do that online or in person, then you don't have to be and it's open to the public. So anybody can come and attend our IAIH conferences. We do a lot of work with law and legislation, working with attorneys, working with let's say trademark, but that's slightly off topic. But I work with a team of attorneys to be sure that we're not because of anything negative, right? But to maintain the highest standards of running a business and to protect the free and open practice of hypnotherapy, which is which needs that type of work. So as you support the IAIH, our association, you're also supporting hypnotherapy as a valid, legitimate profession that we're, again, working to raise the standards on all the time. So what is hypnotherapy and what is interpersonal hypnotherapy? Briefly, hypnotherapy is utilizing the altered state of mind known as hypnosis while applying powerful transformational modalities that help the client to get to the root cause of their problem, usually quite quickly, and to make long, profound, lasting change. It's not just talk therapy. It's not cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm not talking down about any of these things, just saying it's not that, right? You're not a psychologist. You can be into hypnotherapy, but you don't have to be. You do not have to be a licensed mental health practitioner to do hypnotherapy, but you must understand the laws of your state, and you need proper training in a lot of things: HIPAA, scope of practice assessment, ethics, semantics, law. If you don't have training in that, you could absolutely get in trouble in this profession with a cease and desist order, or possibly worse if you had a HIPAA violation. So what is hypnotherapy? There's therapeutic uses of hypnosis where somebody's in an altered state and we are helping them with medical, psychological, or dental conditions. In many states, you are legally allowed to do that. However, you need to work in coordination with another licensed practitioner. So I'm working with a client now with, let me not even say what his issue is, but it's a medical condition. And I just said, please go to your physician and have the physician send me a referral saying it's safe to use hypnosis with you. So using hypnosis now, or hypnotherapy in a therapeutic context, I am helping this person potentially to survive a life-threatening illness, right? And I've literally in my practice seen cancer, allergies, asthma, tumors, fibroid tumors, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, diabetes. I have seen maybe not huge change in diabetes, but certainly shifts around any of that stuff, being more at peace, learning how to eat better, just having more energy or whatnot. The applications of the mind towards the body, towards the emotions, and towards spiritual growth are really significant. So what is hypnotherapy? Essentially one-on-one sessions where you're the facilitator with your client. We don't call them patient. You get to put them into hypnosis. Not always. Sometimes we have other techniques we use. Our training is 500 plus hours. We're moving that way up above that, but right now that's what we're licensed for. And at 500 hours, you are going to have so many skill sets in your bag of tricks that at the end of the day, you can say, I really helped people. I know what it's like sitting there wanting to help someone when you're one-on-one with them. And I can imagine being a therapist or maybe a talk type therapist and feeling like I wish I could do more. Right? I can listen, I can empathize, maybe I could give advice. But if you don't have techniques, like we teach you how to do good listening in the school. It needs to be more than listening, right? We want to know we can make change in people. So essentially hypnotherapy is a really solid set of techniques. But what is interpersonal hypnotherapy? That is our own brand, and it ties into the deeper transpersonal teachings at this school that go into more than just past life regression or life between life regression. It's really has a lot to do with my background in religion, philosophy, and living in monasteries and ashrams and spiritual communities, and then just my own internal kind of awarenesses. I'm a Course in Miracles teacher. I'm a neuro-linguistic programming teacher. So everything that I've become, I've infused into this school. But what is interpersonal? It is more than just transpersonal, which means it's not just about the soul. It's about you as soul, you as spirit, whatever you want to call that. And I hope you're not turned off by a word like soul. I'm just saying that you are you. You are conscious. You are there, right? You're the I am. You're like, here I am. That you is very important in the equation of healing and enlightenment, right? Like, who are you and how are you being of service to others? The connection to others is obviously a huge part of what interpersonal means, but it's also the word intrapersonal, meaning the relationships inside of you, your inner child, your inner parent, your inner adult, your inner critical voice, the part of you who doesn't want to eat your broccoli, the part of you who doesn't want to exercise. All of those inner people are in conflict with each other, and interpersonal hypnotherapy is about resolving that conflict, to bring the mind back into a state of wholeness. It's not a movement here to try to just heal sickness. It's not a movement away from sickness. It's not a model that's rooted in sickness. It's a model that's rooted in enlightenment, in the truest sense of healing or atonement or oneness. It's that movement back to personal wholeness, equilibrium, and synthesis, which is what we're very much all about. So interpersonal hypnotherapy, without being able to go too into tonight, I will say it's taking what we do in hypnotherapy to the whole next level. And we're bringing in more, we will be for sure, more and more science to actually prove these methods absolutely work. I know it now after 25 plus years of experience, but now we'll be documenting it more and more. So why IIH? Why would you want to train with us? We have 20 hours of career practice management training. We have an advanced marketing director who's a graduate of the school who infuses the teachings with how to market your business. And so do I, after having been in the profession now for like 25 plus years. So you have a lot of background going on here. You have state licensed diplomas. You have a team that's there for you. I'm not supposed to say 24/7 because they want to sleep at night, but I'm telling you, their hearts are in it 24/7. You need help. You have an abundance of people who are there for you to get you through the training. We're interpersonal, so we're about helping you to create friendships and networking and just like the best of everything. Honestly, a lot of our teachings are based on life mastery, which is essentially having the best of everything in every aspect of your life. Why? Because you can, because your mind is that powerful. So we're empowering you to use your mind to create a truly rockin' life. Your mind is so incredibly powerful. And once you get it programmed the way you want it to be, the output is pretty well guaranteed, but I'm not making any guarantees tonight. So why us? I hope you just listen to your heart and say, I think I connect with this. If you do, we usually have a way to make it work financially for you. We're just invested in helping you to get out there and have your own profession or improve your profession and to help to heal the world, which really seriously needs it right now. Styles of delivery online or in-house we have on the slide. You can do 100% of our training online now as licensed by the Department of Education, and it works. There's really nothing is lost, and I think a lot more is gained in so many ways. But if you really want that in-person experience, we still have the in-house practical hours as well. So 30% of your training can be done in a clinical location where you're working on other people, you're having hypnotherapy done on you, and you get a lot of personal growth, like significant growth from that, including like sometimes major spiritual awakenings, honestly. Let's talk briefly about how much money can you make in this field. Let me go to the disclaimer first. It says these numbers only show the potential for income in one scenario and are in no way guarantees of what a graduate will make. Okay, so this is just mathematics, right? Because I just like how much can you make at this? Again, no promises, but I can tell you we absolutely have graduates making over $100,000 per year. I can't say you will, but if others have done it, then you can too, because it's about your mind essentially. And we're hypnotherapists. We know how to get your mind in the right place. We encourage you to charge anywhere from $70 to $150 per hour. Just for reference, I'm a leader in the field, if I can humbly say that, and I get $300 per hour. That is more than almost any hypnotherapist is charging, but I'm very busy running a significant institute that's really growing. So I would say our higher level graduates are charging about $150 an hour. But let's say you start pushing your confidence level that you feel like, hey, I'm worth $125 per hour. You can start with $70 per hour. And as you get clients coming in, you can keep increasing that. So just do some math tonight. If you're really saying like, maybe career hypnotherapy would make sense. It's up to you. You could see 5 clients per week, as you'll see in the slide, or up to 25 per week. I've done 30 per week. That is exhausting. I don't recommend it. Most of our senior staff sees about 15. And like not even staff, just our higher level graduates are comfortable with 15 clients per week at 2-hour sessions. It's only 30 hours a week, but I was doing 25 clients a week, and that's 50 hours. So again, do the math, because 50 hours a week, is that how much you want to work? If you're willing to, just look at the numbers. Sessions are usually 2 hours. If you get $250 per session, $125 per hour, and times, it says 20, times 20 clients per week. Okay, only 20, not even 25. So my numbers are realistic. 20 hours, 20 clients a week is 40 hours for the week, right? So average work week, that's $5,000 per week. 5,000 times 50 weeks is $250,000. So are you going to make that? Maybe, but again, no guarantee. If you did half of that, you'd be making more money than most human beings, right? And you would be your own boss, you'd have your own hours, and you can raise your rates, right? As inflation goes up, you can raise your rates. You could also do this from anywhere in the world because we can do hypnosis 100% online. You can do Zoom sessions. I don't do in-person sessions anymore. It's pretty much all done with Zoom. I mean, at least for me and a lot of our team. Of course, people have offices, and that's a very rewarding experience. However, there's COVID. So knowing that you could actually during COVID times make 250,000, again, I don't want to say you will make that. I'm really careful about my words here. But yeah, just imagine doing 6 figures, which you could potentially do with this, and you are doing that from home, right? Or maybe your children are in the other room or something. What a beautiful reflection, and knowing that you're truly helping people, not having to drive, not having to pollute, right? It's really a wonderful model. No more traffic lights, all that kind of stuff. All right, next. We also are the Interpersonal NLP Society. I'm a master level NLP practitioner and trainer. The trainings are 100 additional hours, and they make you a significantly better communicator and practitioner of hypnotherapy. Yet NLP can be its own standalone practice that just makes everything you do better, essentially. So you can learn more about that through us, and you would if you were going through our school. The International Association of Interpersonal Hypnotherapists, again, that's our association, really because I didn't like the standards in the other hypnotherapy associations. They weren't requiring state licensure. They were requiring 100 hours of training. They weren't letting us use the word hypnotherapist. I'm like, I am out of here. My dear teacher and mentor, Mr. Gil Boyne, he was really adamant about protecting hypnotherapy, not just saying, oh no, we're only hypnotists. So because Gil really rubbed off on me, I had to just keep going and kind of standing on the shoulders of a giant to say, let's do something amazing with this occupation. So the IAIH is all about that. Conferences, certifications, and CEU courses, as well as being a governing credentialing regulatory body that does advocacy work as far as law, legislation. If there's issues on the state or city or county level, we jump in and work to help with that. And I'm really proud of that work because it's actually helped a lot of people keep this occupation alive. To actually have an occupation in this. We are also Silent Light publishers. We publish my books. We are currently publishing someone else's, and we published a graduate book before. So small publishing company, but we are growing. The Sacred Geometry of Meditation and the Anahat Meditation System are 2 books based on another big project of mine called OnlineMonastery.com, which I'll introduce to you briefly. The Sutras on Healing and Enlightenment ties into our clinical portion of our training. But you'll see it's more than just hypnosis for pain management. We are using the word very carefully, healing, and very clearly the word enlightenment. When I lived in one of these monasteries I've been at, I was looking at different spiritual communities, and they had their purpose. What is their mission? And this monastery, the mission was enlightenment. I'm like, there's nothing higher. What else would you do? So my life became very much about that. Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, I would recommend reading that book if you're considering our school. And during these wacky times, Peace Under All Circumstances has been a really soothing book for a lot of people. No matter what's happened in your life, you can find inner peace. All right. If you go to YouTube, you'll see a whole lot that I've been putting out. A lot of our graduates are putting out for this type of work. This one video, for instance, Hypnosis for Integrating the Psyche into Wholeness. It's a meditation, it's a hypnotic session, and it'll help to get your psyche, as it says, into a state of wholeness, to not have a split mind anymore. And we're all somewhat split. I'm not saying like dissociative identity disorder, but like I said before, our minds are conflicted. You don't want to have a conflicted mind. You just you keep self-sabotaging yourself. It's about becoming truly free. So OnlineMonastery.com is one of the other main projects. Every Monday night, I do a class for free, streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. It's called the Conscious Community Class, and there's now well over 500 hours of material on every topic you can imagine related to this stuff anyway. This is OnlineMonastery.com. Every Tuesday night, I do a free support group to help people who are going through this meditation system. It's a certification. It is free. to get 100+ hours of free meditation training, very advanced stuff. You got to like commit to it, but it'll beyond just change your life. It's the most powerful thing I've ever discovered, and that's why I'm offering it for free. It's just so good that I want everybody to have it. So check that out at onlinemonastery.com. Let's take a quick moment for screen share. I don't do that much with this program, so give me a sec. Okay. I hope you're seeing that. I won't take too long, or maybe our team can tell me if something's not working. Okay, so on this our website, drop-down menu seemed to work now for me, Monica. I just wanted to show your staff and credentials page. Perhaps you've already visited it, but if you're seeing this video and us for the first time, here's me, and you can learn more about me if you like there. Here's our team, Danny, who's here tonight, Monica, who's here tonight. Corey is our main marketing director. I'm not going to say everybody's name here, but I just want to show you there's a significant, absolutely wonderful, beautiful team of people who are dedicated to helping you to, I use the cliched Oprah term, to live your very best life. I mean, sincerely, these people love and care about you more than you can imagine. There's so much warmth and joy and mentoring and caring. So just realize it's not the Matthew Brownstein show at all. And I couldn't do this without our team. We have a very robust student portal with an advanced learning management system that's in place. I've literally invested hundreds of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to make this what it is today. This is not a cheap endeavor. My entire life is invested in this essentially. And I just hope you get a sense of how much I care about this. If you want to get a sense of our training, here's the introductory packages, or there's introductory packages, but here you can just have a comparative chart of the different hours, 300, 400, 500. And right now, at the moment of this recording, it's 5:22, but I am legally allowed to say it'll be 750 hours, most likely in September. So you can just keep moving on. But the base is here, and then there'll be an additional 220 hours on top of the base that we offer. So we never stop growing, and we're working with the Department of Education right now to get the 750 hours license. I'm not allowed to say certain other things based on certain standards of education, but I will say we are significantly growing to make this as legitimate as possible, meaning not just us, but the profession itself. Please check out the IAIH. Here you can see resources on ethics, law, professional disclosure forms, liability insurance, again, more about law, and HIPAA, right? If you're not understanding HIPAA, you can get seriously in trouble working in any type of clinical atmosphere. I even use the word clinical. We're getting more and more strict in our model to say you really need to be HIPAA compliant. So we definitely give you training in that and continue to get better at doing that as well. And then our bookstore, we're working on changing that color. But I hope you check out a lot of the resources and even recommended books here. All right, so that's us. The other thing, just to show you briefly, is onlinemonastery.com. If you're interested in diving deep into this, just click where it says click here, or just click on Anahat Meditation itself. There's also free resources below. Support groups, and if you missed the classes live, then they are posted here. We've done 2 of the support groups so far this year. And then actually and this is not only an online monastery, if you will, I actually have land up here in upstate New York, and I'll show you a picture. That's the view from the property, and I am seriously intending on building this, and my team knows how wacky I am, never letting go of the vision. So it's happening, and I just want you to know there's a deep spiritual hub, meaning like my heart and anybody who works with me, that infuses the work at the Institute, right? So it's not just a hypnotherapy school. There's really something significant behind what we're doing. All right, so that's that brief view. All right, I hope that worked out for the screen share. Good. Okay, so let's go back to our PowerPoints. All right, we are on to the student experience. I'm going to shut my mic. I'm going to welcome in Jenny Warner, our Student Services Director, with immense gratitude for what she does for us and for being here. And Jenny, take it away.
Okay, thank you. And good evening, everyone. My name is Jenny Warner. I'm a proud graduate of the school. I graduated in 2021. So I'm not only a proud graduate of the school, I'm very proud to have done that during COVID. The team did a great job of navigating us all through that experience. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also a proud employee of the school. And I think one of the amazing things about it is how people can come in and work with us and build a team that helps to deliver the vision. So I'm the Student Services Director. I'm here to help guide you through the whole student experience. I'll talk just a little bit about some of the detail here. As Matthew had said, there are 3 programs, 500 hours of state licensed training. The first 300 hours is comprised of fundamentals of hypnotism, advanced hypnotism, and hypnotherapist. And that's followed by the 100 hours for clinical hypnotherapist and transpersonal hypnotherapist. The training is comprised of online tutorials as well as practicals weekend. That's the live experiential practice, and that can take place either online or in person. And within each of these 100 hours, there are live classes, and these live classes are so great. They highlight some of the important parts of the curriculum. They give students a chance to ask questions, and they prepare you for these practical weekends, these in-person or online weekends. And the other great thing about these live classes is they take place from typically 7 to 9 in the evening, but if you can't make it, they're posted on the student portal, so you can always catch up to them at a time that's convenient for you. So there's so much activity within each of these 100 hours. It really is truly amazing. And as far as exams, there are written exams at the end of each 100-hour section, and there is an oral exam at the end of the hypnotherapist training. Typically, people do that within the transpersonal weekend. And then when that's complete, I get to print out the most beautiful diplomas that you can hang on your wall in your office. And that's something that I really enjoy doing. Everyone that I print, I feel, is filled with love and gratitude and so much amazing time. It definitely was a spiritual journey for myself. I had no idea when I started with the program how much it would be that. And that continues on now in this role here in student services. So I'm basically here to support you, and I can be reached by email, I can be reached by telephone, and I can be reached by text messaging. And I do understand the journey, and so I take calls when somebody is feeling like they maybe don't have quite enough time to squeeze in the curriculum before the practicals, and we talk through that, and I help support people in that respect. I answer questions about how to enter passcodes or some technical issues. So basically, my role is to make your student experience one of sort of peace, joy, and harmony as you move through this amazing experience. And if I can't answer your question, then I can connect you to somebody who can. So I hope to get the chance to meet some of you. And thank you, Matthew, for hosting this tonight. And it's so nice to see all of my colleagues out there.
Right on. Thank you, Jenny. I so appreciate you being here. I just want to say to everybody who's listening, isn't this awesome? I just get surrounded by the best people. So thank you so much, Jenny. We usually, our student services directors are here for about 2 years because they're graduates of the school. We always let a graduate take that position, but then they want to go out and do their hypnotherapy practice. I hope to keep Jenny as long as possible. But every time someone leaves, very harmoniously to go do their practice, another one like Jenny comes in, and they're just absolutely wonderful because they've been through the training. They really, really care about you. On that notion, let me introduce someone who seriously cares about you. Ms. Danny Fox. Danny, again, is our COO, meaning she works a lot behind the scenes with our whole team and with me, with other higher level people in the company to help to grow our vision. And Danny is one of your chief instructors, one of your lead instructors online. The fact is you're going through the online live classes, every week, or I'm sorry, every 2 weeks for about 2 hours. You're actually doing that with Danny. So she's kind of one of the ones holding your hand through the whole training. And trust me, she cares about you more than you'll ever know. So, Danny, you're up.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. I'm Danny Fox. I'm so glad to be here. Yes, I am the COO, but I'm starting to think that the O means other duties as assigned. And but that's the best place for me to be, because I tend to just really care about every aspect of what the student experience is and the staff experience here is. So it's a very fitting position for me. But as far as the student experience goes, I support Jenny, I support Monica and Matthew, obviously, to make this a fantastic experience for everyone. And I'm looking at this slide thinking, I really think Jenny covered the what that you're going to be doing, and a little bit of the how you move through this work. And I feel like what I'm compelled to share is more about the why and the experience you have as a student growing through this work. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to deviate a little bit. Everybody can see that it's 70% online tutorials, works with your schedule. You can read that. But I'd like to share something with you that you wouldn't be able to read here, which is the why behind doing this work. When I stumbled into this modality and found this school in my backyard, it was one of the lowest times of my life, and I didn't think things were working out for me with a lot of the things that I was trying to create shift with. And I was so grateful to find this school, even though I had no real prior history with hypnotherapy. I was a life coach, I was doing corporate training, I had spent some time at Disney, I'd spent some time in live event production, but also corporate environment. And just for being such a capable person, just so unable to create shift in my life. And I found the school, and I didn't really know what I was getting into, honestly, but I was pleasantly surprised, and I had many moments where I was like, I'm not sure I can do this. And the staff was very supportive of me, and this is 10 years ago, but the staff was so supportive, and they believed in me and saw potential in me, and really helped me harness and lean into that concern and that fear that I had. And I was so grateful, because I will say this every day until my dying day, that the school saved my life and this work saved my life. And it's not because anybody did anything for me, but they held space for me to do for myself. So when Matthew says that we create and provide powerful tools to help the able help themselves and help the other able, that's really what it is. And we create master space holders for people to help other people leverage the resources within themselves and work within their value system, which is so much more beneficial and powerful than just giving someone advice or project managing their goal. The level of enlightenment that comes from using these tools and holding space for someone else while they move their way from where they are to where they want to be is absolutely profound. And from a practitioner point of view, having gone through the school and knowing how to use these tools and holding space for people, it's changing my life every day. And people come in, and we're still working together. And I know that every issue is mine. And I never would have imagined that had I not been exposed to this model and Matthew's unique experience in creating this tool for us to hold space for people. It's a structure that is infused with a wide dynamic of personal life experience, but also time-tested modalities and techniques that are not just cutting edge, but they're leading edge, and isn't happening anywhere else. So I was so grateful to go through the school for that reason. Blessed to meet Matthew and to meet the team. But when I got through the school, I said to myself, I almost have a responsibility to give back and to train other people, because when you find something that is so valuable, that works so deeply and profoundly and is life-changing, you almost feel like you have a responsibility to share it with other people. And I know that's very much where I sit and why I care so much. And it's also why Jenny cares so much, and why Monica cares so much, and why everybody that you interact with at the school cares so much, but why Matthew devotes his whole life to bringing this to your awareness. it's a gold mine of a gem. And what I didn't realize about this training in going through it was that it's a wonderful structure and backbone to weave into your existing experience and skill in other domains. So not only is it a structure, provides a structure for you as a life coach, for example, to bring those life coaching skills and present them and work with the client in a structure, but whether you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist, a counselor, a sports nutritionist, or a personal trainer, or a corporate trainer, or just a leader of your company, or a school coach, a parent, any capacity that you work in has the ability to weave your passion and your skills throughout the structure. And so I'm constantly speaking with graduates and with current students about how grateful they were to finally find the tool that helps them leverage all of their other passions and skills. So Matthew, I don't think I've ever shared that with you, but that is what some of the best feedback I get is, finally we have a structure to be able to weave in our QHHT and our past life regression and our rapid resolution. That is one of the most valuable pieces that I don't think people see, and I can't present to you on a slide, and I have to share it with you. However, I also need to share what would be considered a deeper dive into the student experience, which is the relationships. I have lifelong friendships that were created as a function. I mean, not just the people that you see here. They didn't pay me to say that. I really genuinely like them and love them deeply. But the relationships that I created with the people going through this work, and the relationships that have been forged between clients, are lifelong, just lifelong. And it's a continual process of continuing to give back to that which Matthew spoke about, which is this wholeness and this oneness. It's just expanding exponentially. And as we graduate more students, and more students come our way, just this incredible vast network of skillful space holders who are pacing people towards change every day. And that graduate body is coming back and wanting more information, wanting more learning. So the good news is we have open to you all of the training that you engage in, and that's good for as long as you're student good standing with the school. You can always revisit the training, whether it's the online tutorials, the live classes. You can even join in the live practical weekends in person or online, space depending. And you can revisit the training anytime you wish. In fact, we have a graduate from 2012 going through again in the practicals with me, and you always brush up on those skills. So this is a wonderful opportunity to get not just involved in something that has current value, but future value. You can always revisit, pick up where you left off, and take advantage of some new and interesting modalities, CEU courses. And that's what we have to offer through the IAIH, which is an asset of CEU courses that pertain to not just content that expands on what you get in the school, but is an extension of, or is a right turn from, for example, psychic and intuitive development, or the NLP CEUs, or I'm going to draw a blank here off the top of my head. We could do, help me out, Matthew, drawing a blank, under pressure, performance pressure.
There's the eye movement therapy training. There's also just a self-hypnosis and meditation CEU. If you're not ready to dive into the whole school yet, then that's a way to start as well. There you go.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. Performance under pressure. But so we're here to help you grow and continue growing, and we love for you to grow with us. So the opportunity is not just being a student or graduate, but working with us. The way we grow as a school is we create supervisors, and supervisors become instructors, and instructors become directors of their own location. And I need help. We have so many people who want this training, and we want savvy, capable graduates who are interested in helping train others. So the career path, which is again why I'm still here, is there's just no end to it. So your passion plus your skill equals opportunity to train future students. So another opportunity as a graduate to move into that experience. let's see, did I cover everything? Oh, mentoring and business development. Yes. And so as instructors, but as graduates of the school, we're always interested in helping you grow. So while there isn't a formal mentoring program per se, there is the opportunity to mentor and grow your business with a graduate who is also an instructor or supervisor, or just align you with some graduates in your area who you can network and connect with to continue to grow your business. But as far as the practice management Matthew spoke about in the advanced module, which is in this first 300 hours, that's where you get some real cutting edge insight and information about how to manage your practice and how to create marketable presence on the web, branding, and also SEO. And we're very fortunate to have Matthew and Corey create these modules for you, which really have up-to-date relevant information about how to grow your practice, in addition to some support for website development and design and execution. So you don't have to build that from scratch, which is very helpful. Let's see, I think I covered everything. Lifelong access, support, because we love you. We want to hear from you. We want to help you grow, mentoring and business development, and just the heart of this work, obviously, is the relationships that you create. They're lifelong friendships. And you won't ever be sorry for the growth. Even if you would never use this work as your practice or as an adjunct to what you do, the development and personal growth that you expand into is worth the journey. So please join us.
Nice. Thank you so much, Danny. There's definitely moments in that where I just wanted to, the tears to start. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. I know. It's really like, so I'm like, you guys can imagine how much we care about you, because it's like, well, checking after a practical weekend, and we'll say, all right, like, how is everybody? I'll get the list from Danny, but it's usually like, all right, how are the kiddies? It's like it takes a team of people. I would say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a big team of people to take someone through this many hours of training with really legitimate credentials. So yeah, you can just sense that in Danny, like why we're behind this. And like she said, the why. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Danny. And our next slide, that leads us over to Monica Waterman in Mission. So when you call the school, you get Monica. Monica and I had a beautiful kind of heartfelt email back and forth where she's like, I've been through like the rough times, I've been through the good times, and I'm still with this. And I love what you said about just like the why, because Monica and I don't work in the same location anymore, so I don't get to like see her every day and hear her talk to students. But that email reminded me of just how much her heart is in this too. So Monica, you're on.
Well, great. I'm sure most of the people that are out there right now have already spoken to me, and if not, as Matthew and everybody else has said, I'm your admissions director. I'm going to be your Hi, Rev J. I'm going to be your primary point of contact. I'm just like everybody else in our school, laser focused on you. When we are talking and I'm helping you and working towards building your curriculum and helping you design your training to suit the needs that you have coming in, understand that I'm not going to turn around and start answering phones in the middle of a conversation or anything else like that. I'm going to be laser focused on you. I believe, love the one you're with. So you're my world when we're talking, but you'll understand then if you do call and you don't get me right away, it's because I'm with somebody else. That doesn't mean you're not going to get me. It means I'm going to call you immediately as soon as I'm finished with the last person, because as I said, it's just important to really stay on your priority when I'm working with you. As everybody has said, there's no need for prior degrees or training. There are no prerequisites. Everything you ever need for a complete, competent, confident hypnotherapy practice is contained in this one high-level career training. So as we move towards enrolling, when you feel comfortable with what you've learned, we move towards enrolling. I'm going to take you through a brief pre-enrollment interview over the phone, really only going to take up about 10 or 15 minutes of your time. Certainly I'm there for as much time as you want, but I don't want you to think that I'm sucking up your time, needlessly or frivolously. We'll go through the pre-enrollment interview, and then of course I'll email you a link to your enrollment agreement. This is just a document that we have to have. Think of it as a foundation for your student file, if you will. It's a document that we really have to have in there for the Department of Education inspectors when they do their random checks to make sure everything is according to Hoyle. So that's just one of the things. But we'll also determine pricing or tuition strategy that's going to work best for you. As it says on the screen, training is $18.50 per training hour. So we can just go ahead and do quick math in our head. Each 100-hour module is $1,850. Those first 3 modules, fundamentals, advanced, and hypnotherapist, comprise the first diploma level you can achieve of program. So altogether, it's just $1,850 times 3. That's $5,550. That's easy math. Paying as you go. That means that your training will be completely paid off by the time you graduate, and that's one way to go about it. There are 3 payment methods, really. Now, just bearing in mind that they can't be combined, but as Matthew said, they do pretty much address every need for each and every student as well as we can. So if you're paying a module at a time, it's kind of considered an interest-free installment plan. That being said, you could also finance your training over a longer period of time with a down payment of $600 and a minimum credit score of 600 or above. You can finance your training with payments of a minimum roughly $300 a month for a maximum of 38 months. You could shorten the term of the loan, reducing the overall amount of interest paid, gross amount of interest paid. It won't reduce the APR, but you can certainly, you're in the driver's seat as to how much interest you pay just based on how long you hold that loan, and that's up to you. There's no penalty or fee for retiring the loan early. So, and then the third method would be to pay in lump sum. When you do that and you group your modules together strictly for purposes of payment, we can employ 10% scholarship funds to augment your out-of-pocket expense. So, and when talking about that 300-hour training, for example, that we just said was $5,550, paying for it all at one time out of your pocket is $49.95, and our scholarship fund would make up the balance. But as I said, they're mutually exclusive. They cannot be combined. So if you are doing, a module at a time, you can't employ scholarship funds towards that. If you're doing an interest-bearing payment plan, you can't combine that with scholarship funds. So it has to be one or the other, not in combination. The first payment will be taken over the phone, but then you can, as I said, if you're doing a payment plan, an interest-bearing payment plan, taking a student loan, you can schedule auto pay if you want to, or you can pay just a monthly payment on time. That's completely up to you. The next steps for you as a potential student would be to reserve your seat in the training, and really the sooner is better, because what happens is these trainings get booked up. What nobody seems to, you don't think about these things, but we really can't overbook a class. We want to make sure that we maintain a 5-to-1 student to teacher ratio and not really exceed that, because we want you to be getting the level of attention you need in order to develop a really seamless technique and gain a level of expertise to where you can go out in the world with confidence, knowing that you're executing these techniques with your clients to the very highest of their purpose. So that's pretty much everything I've got for you tonight. I think the only thing we didn't mention was when we're doing our training, as we said before, 70% of it is at your own pace. Really, we're looking to see you investing roughly 16 to 17 hours a week towards your self-paced training. And when doing that, you're keeping up a pace that's going to make it possible for you to come into clinical practice really prepared and ready to do good work. So that blended approach to training gives you a level of freedom over your schedule, so that you don't have to worry about, being available for the kids, or being available for work, or doing everything halfway because you can't devote yourself enough to any one thing to do it well. When you have a blended approach like this to training, you're kind of in the driver's seat as to how you allocate your time resources. And I think that makes it better for everybody. So with that, I think I'll flip it back over to Matthew. And, if you have any questions, just get on the phone with me. My number, 800-551 9247. I'm here to help in any way I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Monica. Sincerely appreciate you. For like 8 years now, Monica's been with me. Danny since like 2012, somewhere around there. Jenny relatively newer, but yeah, everybody's just so dear to me. If you guys who are here live have any questions, you can use the chat pod, put it in. I'll give another minute just in closing to do that. But if we see questions, we'll answer them. If not, again, feel free to reach out to Monica with the 800 number there, or you could just go onto the website. There's contact forms if you want to get in touch with us that way. So we're sincerely really here for you guys. If there's any way we can help, please reach out. And if there's any feedback you have on how we could be doing even better, things we could be offering, ways we can improve, we're all ears. So thank you so much. Perhaps we'll see you for Monday night free classes. If you're not ready to enroll yet, you can still stick around on this energy every Monday night, 7 p.m. on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. And also every Tuesday night, if you're getting into the Anahata meditation system, there's a free support group with me there. So this weekend, I'm teaching an NLP class. We find we're never done teaching here, right? We're in school. We're honored to be taking everyone through this with us. All right, I don't see any questions. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone. Jennifer, welcome. We'll get you Janie's email and phone number if that didn't happen already. We saw it there. Matthew, who's been around with us, another Matthew. Good to have you here tonight as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you around.